Hello, this is Space Zombies. It is a mod in Starcraft 2. It is a very difficult mod. It has many gameplay modes, and I'm sure some of you may look forward to seeing some strategies that I pull in my playthrough. I'm playing it through on hard difficulty, and it is really hard. It is much harder than when it was in earlier patches, so if you have beat this mode and you play it today, it might be a different experience. Before, I think you could even beat it by yourself, but now that is I would say impossible. Maybe if you get a few lucky attack speed weapon drops at the beginning. I'm recording this audio separate from when I recorded the video because it didn't record together properly, so if I am out of sync with some things that I'm doing, that's because I'm not currently running the preview as I'm talking. So I have no control over where the camera's going to be showing. Okay, so here we go. In hard mode, if you were to start this by yourself, you couldn't beat level 1 without at least getting an attack speed item. Maybe you could do it, but it's nearly impossible with just one player. So I'm playing with a friend here. The more players you have in the game, the easier it is. I'm playing with Aqua. I'll be Sullivan. I'm yellow. He's blue. I got lucky with an attack speed item in the beginning, and it made the start a lot easier. As you can see, they're already leaking. You can see how difficult it would be if there was only one player. And with our credits, we turn it in automatically. We are sharing credits. It makes it useful for later, so if someone is playing a role that doesn't get as many kills, which I will be playing that role, I'll get next to no kills. If we weren't sharing resources, I wouldn't be able to provide a decent tank. I'm at ×4 speed. That way we can get through these waves quickly, but if I go on ×8, there's a little bit of lag, so I'm leaving it at ×4. I decided there are many ways you can tank. I decided to go with the, let's see, what are these units called again? Suezo. And the Suezos have really good armor to start because their ability gives them armor, but Aqua's letting me pick up all the items right away so that I can upgrade my armor on my Suezos right away. And if you can get your armor up to 50, you pretty much don't have to worry about taking any damage until like level 30 plus. It's really nice. Aqua is going with the Psystorm ability. When playing hard mode, you have to almost plan on air and plan on later levels at the same time. So Psystorms can take out air units almost instantly. I would say they're better at taking it on air than other units. I've seen people go with I wish I was controlling the game right now so I could click on them. There's other units that people have used to take down air, but they don't have any use later, so Psystorm is a good way to go. I got one Judith so I could micromanage, that's the air unit there, so I could micromanage taking down the larger explosive units, which you can't otherwise with the Psystorm or with the Suezos. Right now it looks like things are going pretty easy, but if you were doing any other combo, you would be having a difficult time. Right now they'd be reaching your tanks, I guarantee. Psystorm is just that good to start out with. And their damage, I've noticed, cuts through armor. They're not really great with taking out bosses, but I notice it cuts through the armor. There's Storm and Norman. I was pointing out some units that in Blue Falcon, other units that are good at taking out mass units. But Blue Falcons can't attack air, and Storm and Normans have really weak attack. And so you need to upgrade their attack for them to be any good and get a lot of them. But Psystorm, if you get a lot of them, you have an unending supply of mana to cast your Psystorm. See how quickly the spider died? That was just with the one Judith. Alright, it looks like I have 3, so it doesn't take that many to take down bosses rather quickly. Judiths are pretty good, but they're not really good at the late bosses. They're good close to the end of the game, though. We get quite a few of them. We were originally... You have to plan on taking the last boss right away. And we were originally planning on having Judiths to do that, but then later we switch, and you'll get to see that. Our new strategy worked a lot better than having massive Judiths. I continually get Suezos for a while because it's so nice being able to get a Suezo and automatically has 50 armor and a ton of health. So it's really tempting to keep getting Suezos. Although at some point I wish I would have switched. I probably would have switched to nuke guys a lot sooner. Don't remember the name of the unit, but the ones that shoot the nukes. Yep. Psystorms take out all the air and I don't even lose a minute. Again, I'm playing on just with 2 people. It is a lot easier to use more people. It doesn't seem like the difficulty scales that much with more people. It does a little bit. There's new bosses. Mostly they have a lot more health. There he is, Sentinel, that's the one that shoots the nuke off. And Kimball, that's what other people I've seen, they mass produce Kimballs for air, but they're just not as good as the Psystorm guy. Even their special ability, which takes off air in a splash, doesn't seem to do the trick. As well as just having the casting a few spells, you know? Before we get any further, I wanted to say that after this video I'll be uploading another playthrough of Challenge Mode, and I have yet to find anyone that has beaten Challenge Mode. I would say I beat Challenge Mode, but I didn't do it based off skill. I did it based off, well, a combination of skill and a massive amount of playthroughs. I probably played Challenge Mode around 50 times before I finally beat it. It was a pain. I hate it with a passion. But I was able to unlock a new unit, Varmin, which is an interesting unit. It actually has a store with some pretty good items. 170 armor item and 12% life leech. So I think you can make quite a good tank with the units that you can put together with them. I managed to get one of my Suezos up to 300 or 350 armor by combining the items from Varmin and also another hero that could give him a buff. He was nearly indestructible for quite a few levels, but having mass Suezos is just as good as having one with a lot of armor. For beating hard mode, you don't unlock anything. You just get 4 medals. To unlock ultimate mode, you gotta get 40 medals. Currently, as of recording this video, I had 16, is that? 18. Can't read it from here. My video is really small as I'm recording it, so the voice, so I can see some of the numbers here. Okay. So far, No trouble. I feel sorry for Aqua, who has to like continually cast Psystorm the whole game. That's gotta be fun. I just kind of sit back, relax, and when I sustain enough damage with my Suezos, I give them health kit. So now I gotta find out if this same strategy works in ultimate mode. One thing about challenge mode is you're always thrown with a boss that does something crazy, or like it would be invulnerable unless you go out there and kill a building, and so it didn't matter how much strength you had, you would die. You had to plan in advance. That's why it took a long time to do some playthroughs. Here we go. I was just attacked by a huge air boss, but then again, that's why I put my Suezos behind the base so I don't have to worry. Oh, those guys that you just saw, they're a pain. I mean, you can have the perfect game going right now, and then those guys come through and they take down the base in like 5 hits. So that's why I have these Suezos back here. I noticed there's a bug with Suezos. If you use a larger health potion, the cooldown sometimes applies to all the Suezos, so I'll have a damaged Suezo and I can't use a health potion because another one used the health potion. It's something that needs to be fixed. I like the bottom left corner because the air all comes together in that one spot. In other areas, sometimes the air grabs you on all sides, and I need to be able to make sure to protect the Psystorm and the Judiths. I've also noticed when playing in the bottom right corner, although I really like the bottom right corner, all the bosses and units waves seem to be harder, consistent. Even in normal mode, when I got to the last boss, the boss, like, I'd have tons of units capable of taking out the last boss and I'd lose, whereas if I had the same amount of units in the top right or the bottom left, I always took it out easy. I always would end up winning, even with less units. So I think there's some balance bug. Here comes continually, there's always air coming by. Psystorm is still killing everything. We're going to start to see its power level decline, so we're going to... Right now, it looks like Aqua's going for a bunch of Judiths, but then we're like, you know, we noticed it wasn't taking the bosses down as quickly, and we had so many, so we switched our strategy halfway through. We're at the 40-minute mark. Yeah, that's another thing about this mod is you play an hour trying to get through to beat this gameplay mode. Just get 4 medals, and you need 40 to unlock ultimate mode. In here, you don't unlock anything else in this mode, not even a unit, and you end up losing on the hour mark. And then you're like, okay, let's play something else, because to be fair, the mode is kind of fun, even though you're not. I mean, it's constantly at stress. This setup is really nice because I'm just here like worrying about air and healing, but in Psystorm, that's why I have to cast. But if you use other units, sometimes you're multitasking. Have I brought? Okay, it looks like I've already brought in the shield. There's one unit that provides shields to all the units within a huge radius. Yule Cast. If you get the Yule Cast, it's right there next to my base. The melee unit. If you get him leveled up all the way, he has a shield boost of 30, and so I did that to provide extra armor for all my units. So my Suezo should have around 80 armor. There's another thing that you can do with that unit, which is really good. If you want to increase your armor even more, you can get 4 of them and then upgrade them to separate tiers. So have one at tier 2, 3, 4, 5 shield, and you'll effectively get your armor up to 70 and that would add on to the armor of my Suezos, which is 50, so plus their ability, which can get up to 50, I think 50 more, so you can essentially get your Suezos up to 170 armor without using any items. There's the invisible units. Aqua. This whole time just constantly it's been like 45 minutes now and he's still casting Sidestorm. I mean, he's got to be having fun, right? Still going here. It's been 16 minutes of real time. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's stop for a second. Nothing much new going on, just nothing much to say, just continuing to tread through the level. Here's another boss. Looks like I lost a few units in the back. All my Suezos wasn't paying attention there. There's some air units that come by, and if you're not paying attention, they can die. Lucky to have, I think I had like 4 back there, and they all died, so maybe I'm moving forward a little bit. This is the boss that makes everything go invisible, and when he attacks you, he stuns the unit he attacks. If you play in survival mode, he's the last unit in survival mode. Hey, are you guys want to have a playthrough of that? Let me leave a comment below if you want to see how I beat survival mode really easily, actually. I find that these modes, like, you can't beat them easy unless you use the right unit. Here's Igor Dyatlov. He provides cloaking for the units. He's actually a good unit to have when fighting the last boss, because you can't attack the last boss unless you have, I mean, your units get attacked and then you have nothing to kill the last boss. But if you're cloaked, he ignores you, which is nice. A lot of the times I like to use Igor and then give him a cloaking item that drops from that boss I just defeated. And then so your cloaking guy is also cloaked. But right now I decided not to go with him, and I'm giving my cloak to my armor guy. Because if he dies, then I'll lose 30 armor with all my units. So there's also a boss you face that he debuffs all my Suezos. So I have to manually activate their skill again. It's quite weird. There I am clicking on it. Assuming my audio is syncing with my video. And then we got, let's see here, both Aqua and I started to build the nuke units to prepare for the last bosses, and we're not sparing any harvesters. We're using all of them. I figure I don't need any more tanks, so I'll just use the nuke units. Even so, it's going to be fairly close here, the last battles, with all that we have and as few units as I've lost. There are other ways to take out the boss that might even be quicker, but I like the nuke units because they take out the units around the boss as well. So it's a win-win situation. And the last units have about 60,000 health, so you have to have 3 level 5 nuke guys to do that, which isn't very hard to do because we built them early enough. They level up fairly quickly. Oops. Looks like I wasn't paying attention to some air units coming, but no matter. I have some emergency Suezos behind the base. Here's another boss. This boss ends up taking a few of my units down. In normal mode you got 50 waves, and I believe we get to wave 54 or something on this hard mode. I have all my nuke guys selected so I can continually upgrade their nuke ability here. I'll do that in a second. Yep, I've been getting nuke guys for the past like 5 waves. That's all I've been getting. I mean, 30,000 damage is pretty good, and oh, here we go. That boss is actually incredibly hard to take down, but using the 10 nukes that we placed on him, he was pretty easy. Most of these nukes will probably do 30,000 damage, so it takes like 3 or 4 nukes to kill these guys. And my tanks can't hold out as well against them, but they do still do a decent job. I think I lose a couple here. I just nuke once or twice. Oh, there we go. I paused it here because there's another boss coming through that actually steals items permanently. So he's a pain. We nuked the bejesus out of him. I'd say that guy's almost as tough as the last boss. Here we go. Not sure what wave I'm on, it doesn't say, but I'm slowly using my Suezos. I lost like 6 Suezos just from that last boss there. Much more Suezos than these guys can take down, so that boss I just defeated after the spiders. A toughie. Keeping my big Suezo in the back, he picked up a special item that allows him to get 5,000 more hit points and resizes with tons of armor. So. Okay, just more nukes. Alright, here we go again. There's another boss. They actually don't do too much damage against my Suezos, and they don't have any armor items. It'd be a waste of money. I'd rather upgrade damage of units or something. I upgrade the damage of my Suezos quite a bit too. Oh, here we go, last boss. You have to kill all these air units before you're even able to touch him, but luckily, barely tanked the base there. With all those nukes, now we're nuking all our the boss with what little we have left. He's didn't quite make it to the base. And there we have it. It's beat. It's weird, but this unit appears right on top of your units and starts killing everything, and the game says that it wins. So, oh wait a second, there's one more. Yeah, that's right. That was probably a trick there in the game too. Oh, he's in the... Oh! Almost took down my base, but luckily I had some harvesters left and I healed it. There we go. I was wondering about that. Yeah, now a unit appears and another unit appears even after it says thanks for playing, and then all of a sudden our unit started dying. We're like, what? And so we realized something was happening here. Yeah, there he is. There's that dinosaur, two-headed dog there taking us down. But thank you. I hope you learned some good strategies, and I look forward to playing with you. My name is Sullivan. If you ever come across me, we could play the game together and be ultimate mode. Record another video. That should be fun. Take a look at my challenge mode videos, and I think I'm gonna upload a survival one as well. See ya.